A home loses its warmth not when winter arrives, but when gratitude leaves. Never let pride make you close your door to the hands that once built it. I never thought the day would come when I'd stand outside my own son's house, shivering in the cold, waiting for someone to let me in. It was early winter, the kind of night when the wind feels like knives and the sky carries no stars. My wife, Maria, held my arm tight as we climbed the porch steps. Her fingers were icy, but it wasn't the cold that made them tremble. It was something deeper, a mother's hope. We hadn't seen our son, Daniel, for nearly 3 months. Ever since his marriage to Leela, things had changed. Calls became short, visits rare, and smiles forced. But Maria insisted we go that evening. She'd baked Daniel's favorite apple pie. "He'll be happy to see us," she said. I wanted to believe her. As we reached the door, the sound of laughter spilled from inside. Music, chatter, the clinking of glasses, a party. Through the window, I saw people dancing, eating, celebrating. I recognized Leela's parents and her cousins. They looked comfortable, like they owned the place. But what caught my heart was Daniel standing among them, wearing a smile I didn't recognize. Maria smiled faintly. "See, he's home, let's go surprise him." I knocked softly, then again louder. For a while no one noticed. Then through the frosted glass a shadow appeared. The door cracked open just an inch. Leela's voice came, cold and sharp as the wind. "Oh, it's you." "Yes, dear, it's us," Maria said gently. "We came to see Daniel." Leela didn't open the door wider. "We're having a private gathering tonight. You should have called first." I frowned. We didn't mean to intrude, we just wanted to drop this off. I lifted the pie dish, still warm under my coat. Leela sighed, glancing over her shoulder. "This really isn't a good time. Daniel's busy." Behind her, laughter erupted. Someone shouted Daniel's name. He turned for a moment, our eyes met through the gap in the door, and in that instant I saw confusion, maybe shame. But he didn't move toward us. Maria whispered, "Please, let us in for a minute. It's freezing out here." Leela's lips curled in irritation. "We'll call you tomorrow. Good night." And with that, she shut the door. I stood frozen, the sound of the lock clicking echoing in my ears like a gunshot. Maria sank onto the porch chair, tears slipping down her face. I didn't know what to say. My heart pounded painfully, anger, hurt, disbelief, all tangled inside. Minutes passed, then the door opened again. This time, Daniel stepped out. "Dad, Mom, what are you doing here?" he said, looking around nervously as though ashamed someone might see us. "We came to see you," I replied quietly, "but it seems we're not welcome." "Dad, it's not a good time. Leela's parents are hosting the dinner and—" I cut him off. "Hosting in your own home." He avoided my eyes. "It's complicated." Maria stood, voice trembling. "Danny, we raised you better than this. We're your parents. You could have at least let us in for a cup of tea." "Mom, please," he said, rubbing his forehead. "I'll come see you tomorrow, I promise." Before I could speak, Leela appeared again, glaring at us. "Daniel, come inside. You're letting the cold in." Daniel looked torn, then, like a scolded child, he turned and obeyed. The door closed once more. Maria whispered, barely audible, "Son, why won't they let us in?" Her voice cracked something deep inside me. I wrapped my coat around her and guided her down the steps. We walked back to the old car parked at the curb, the pie still in my hands, untouched. I started the engine, but for a while I couldn't drive. I just sat there, staring at the house, the glowing windows, the silhouettes of people laughing, our son somewhere inside. That night we didn't go home. We drove to a small motel near the highway. Maria didn't speak a word. She just lay down, facing the wall, her body shaking. I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking, where did I go wrong? I worked 2 jobs to put Daniel through school. I sold my father's land to help him buy that house. Every brick in those walls carried my sweat and Maria's prayers. And yet there we were, strangers outside our own son's door. The next morning, I made a decision. not out of revenge, but out of respect for what was left of my dignity. When we returned home, I went to the study, opened an old drawer and pulled out the documents, the house papers, the land titles, the small savings we'd set aside for Daniel's future. I placed them all in a box and sealed it. 2 days later, Daniel called. His voice was cheerful, as if nothing had happened. "Hey, Dad, sorry about the other night. Things got out of hand. Leela's folks didn't mean to upset you." I listened quietly. "Daniel," I said, "can you come over? I need to talk to you." He arrived that evening, still wearing that city confidence, the one that hides guilt behind charm. Maria served him tea, though her eyes were distant. I pushed the sealed box across the table. "This is everything we own that was meant for you, the house, the land, and the savings." He looked puzzled. "Dad, what are you talking about?" "I'm talking about freedom," I said. "Yours and ours. We've realized we raised a man who's ashamed of his roots, so take what you need and don't worry about us anymore. We'll manage." His face paled. "Dad, that's not fair. You're overreacting." Maria finally spoke, her voice calm but cold. "Daniel, fairness was standing in the cold outside your house while strangers sat by your fire. Fairness was asking for 5 minutes of your time as your parents, but you chose silence." Daniel stood speechless. "Mom, I didn't mean." "It doesn't matter what you meant," I interrupted. "It matters what you did." He left that night without the box. We watched him drive away, headlights disappearing into the mist. Weeks passed. We didn't hear from him. Maria grew quiet, but she found peace in small things, tending her garden, reading, praying. I, too, learned something vital. Love must have limits or it becomes servitude. Then one evening there was a knock at the door. When I opened it, Daniel stood there shivering. He looked thinner, humbler, older. "Dad, Mom, may I come in?" he asked softly. Maria's eyes filled with tears. She nodded, stepping aside. He entered holding a crumpled paper bag, the same apple pie dish we'd brought that night, still clean, wrapped carefully. "I kept this," he said. "Couldn't eat it that night. I couldn't even look at it." He knelt before us, tears streaming down his face. "I'm sorry. I let pride blind me. I let people control my home, my heart. Please forgive me." Maria embraced him instantly, sobbing. I placed my hand on his shoulder. "Son, homes can be rebuilt. Hearts only if we try in time." That night we sat together, eating the pie Maria baked again, this time warm from the oven. And as the wind howled outside, I thought of that moment on his porch and realized something. Sometimes life freezes you not with cold but with truth. Moral of the story: a home loses its warmth not when winter arrives, but when gratitude leaves. Never let pride make you close your door to the hands that once built it.